it up, Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
All right. Good evening, Badlanders. Zak Paine here, and I'm joined by two esteemed guests. First of all, you all know Jaytriot. Jaytriot, how are you tonight?
I'm doing fine, Zach. How are you, my friend?
Excellent, excellent. And a new face on Badlands Media, Jonathan Drake. Jonathan, you we were talking before the show about your pallid appearance, and I want to say with that name, it's almost like you should be serving the Dark Lord Dracula himself.
Yeah, this is the Midwestern palate coming at you here. So
that's so great.
It's
awesome.
Great that you guys are right next to each other on the screen.
I know. It's just like
amazing.
It's one end of the spectrum on either side.
It's the yin and the yang of sun exposure.
That's right. Well, and you're right about in the middle for me.
Kind of right, yeah, like lukewarm water, just sort of in the middle.
You got a good California base going.
Well, I mean, he's in the desert, so to his credit, he can't stay outside as long as I do. But part-time. Okay, part-time. But what's interesting, Jonathan, is that I'm from Michigan. I mean, I lived in Michigan for the formative years of my life. And so when I was in Michigan doing these shows, I pretty much never went outside during the day. So I was just as pasty as you.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I came to Florida, I basically resolved myself to spend as much time outside as I possibly could. Plus, we live very close to the beach. So it makes it easy to comply.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I work indoors and then my hobbies are all indoors. So if I go outside, it has to be a concerted effort. We do get down to Florida. I grew up in Southern California too. So I didn't always look this pale, but.
Oh, did you? Whereabouts?
I grew up in Orange County in Mission Viejo.
Very nice. Very nice down there.
I was bummed to miss the Gart Irvine because I had friends that lived there and I grew up just south of there. So.
Yeah, right around the corner. That's my favorite part of Southern California is that South Orange County area.
Yeah,
so
it's beautiful. And it's a good place to visit. I'm not sad to not live there anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So Mission Viejo, is that not a shithole like many other places in California are today?
Yeah, it's not. It's very nice. Like it's probably one of the more conservative areas of Southern California.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just nice neighborhoods, pretty clean, and it's very close to where we were in Irvine. Zach was just a little bit south of there. So
that was a nice area.
As I recall, Orange County was primarily a conservative stronghold, and then I forgot what year it was. They allowed ballot harvesting.
Yeah, once that
happened, next year it went blue.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the very real elections that we have.
Right, very real. They spent like 3 weeks trying to come up with enough ballots to harvest, and eventually flipped a bunch of seats. But still, you go down anywhere in Orange County, and you can tell it's definitely conservative.
I don't know who can live there because, like, I grew up in a row condominium complex, wonderful neighborhood to grow up in, lots of kids, but it was like 1,100 square foot. Like, you share a wall with the condo next to you. You got a carport, little postage stamp backyard. And I think my parents bought it for like $100,000 back in 78 or something like that, 79. Yeah. And it's like $650,000, $700,000 now.
Wow.
Oh, and I would guess it's even more than that. Probably.
Oh, probably. I mean, like I looked a number of years ago, and some of the friends that I had in neighborhoods that were connected, because there's just kids everywhere. Some of those houses that they're kind of like your standard split level, that kind of stuff, and they're 1.2, 1.5 million. It's just like, I don't know who can afford to live in a place like that.
Well, that's why people are leaving in droves. Since 2020, there's been a net decrease in population here every year, which was the first time in history that ever happened in California. It was always a net increase. So the trend continues, and as long as we have that douchebag for governor, I see more and more people leaving. I'm sticking it out, man. Somebody's got to save the state, so I'm gonna do my part and stay here. But yeah, it is discouraging, and I don't know how anybody affords anything now. In terms of just buying a house, it's used to be like my condo I live in. My grandparents bought it. My grandpa owned a bike shop. My grandma never worked, and they were able to buy a condo in a really nice part of Pasadena area. And now, my God, you have to have dual income and beyond just to just to come close to affording it. I saw a statistic where they talk about affordability of housing basically being like if it's like 30% of your income or less. And I guess Buffalo, New York is the highest level of affordability. It's like 55% of the houses there are the people that own the houses are spending 30% or less of their income on their house. And of course, Los Angeles is dead last on that list.
Oh, sure.
3%. And I know that's always been sort of the formula is like, don't spend more than a third of your gross income on your house. And 97% of LA is doing just that. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So
like I said, it's a good place to visit.
how far is like San Bernardino from the area you guys are talking about?
It's inland, like from where I am, Pasadena area, it's just due east, maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And then from, from Orange County, it's probably about the same distance, really, just going northeast a little bit.
Okay, because this is one of those shithole areas that I was alluding to a few moments ago. I recently saw a video of a person who grew up in San Bernardino, and in the 1980s, it was fairly thriving. Business was good, a lot of families, a very safe area. And now it's like a burnt out husk of what it once was. Like just you drive down the street and all of the businesses are empty. There's a lot of trash, like cars that have been stripped.
Yeah,
it really is rough. Almost unrecognizable.
It's really rough. It's rough out there. I wouldn't want to live there, let's just say.
Well, we're told that's normal, right? Cities have crime. So,
well, yeah. I mean, you just got to deal with it, Ninny.
just deal with it. I don't know if I told this story before, but I had a patient. It was about 6 months ago, get attacked by a homeless guy with a 2x4. He was like chasing her down the alley by my work. And she ran inside and told the manager of our facility. And the manager started calling these guides that work around this Old Town Pasadena area. And they're basically just like kids on bicycles that will tell you where a store is that you're looking for or whatnot. They're not law enforcement. They have absolutely no authority whatsoever. And I said, my patient just got assaulted. Like, you're calling the guides? And she said, well, yeah, Pasadena PD said, don't call them in cases like this. They're not going to come out. Just call the guides.
Great bodily harm isn't reason enough.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, should she have had her head smashed in first? Is that what we're waiting for? So anyways, yeah, it's really bad. But anyways.
Well, now we're also joined by the esteemed Chris Paul. Chris, how are you? Talking about California, your old stomping grounds.
Yes. I'm okay, and California is probably less than okay.
Yeah.
I'll take Jaytriot's word for it.
I really did want to say, Jay, I respect you for sticking around. I mean, every time I talk about the decline of California on the show and I talk about people who are trapped there or feel some obligation to stay, people are always like, just move, just get out of there. Okay, well, a lot of people have a connection to the land. I mean, maybe they're living in a home that their parents built. Maybe you love the climate, or, I mean, there are people there that are close to them. And it's not just as simple as selling your property and being able to run across the country. First, you got to find somebody who's willing to move there. If there's been significant decline, then that's obviously going to be a problem for certain people. I struggled with this when I was living in Michigan. Do I stay in Michigan and do I try to make this a better place, or do I take my chances and move across the country to some place where I feel like I'm going to be happy? And I just felt like I had done that enough in my life. I was primed and ready to go someplace else. So here we are.
Yeah, it's in my case, it's really my parents that have kept me here. They're elderly and I'm taking care of them, and they have no interest in picking up and moving at 86 years old. So that's really my main reason for being here. Also, my business, it's very difficult in my business to just pick up and move somewhere and start from scratch again. So I'll probably at least ride it out for another 10 years or so till I'm retired. So in the meantime, I'm gonna do my best to do whatever I can to kind of make things just encourage people to stay conservative and stick to the cause here and see what we can do. But it is an uphill battle. It's very discouraging at times, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, clearly that's the way they want it. They want the people in California who are good and who are willing to fight to feel like it's not going to happen. Like, it is totally beyond repair. And the best they could hope for is to run away or simply capitulate. Just, get used to it, Ninny, deal with the crime. This is America. You should probably be okay with getting carjacked or getting shot in the face, because that's the American way.
Yeah,
that's the American way.
At some point, you think people would reach a breaking point. I look to El Salvador for encouragement because they were able to turn things around there from like one of the most dangerous countries in the whole world to, virtually safe in just a couple of months. So I know it can be done. It just takes the political will. And of course, we have a bunch of, communists running this state, and our elections are fake. And until something's done about that, it's really, I don't see it changing. So
yeah, well, unfortunately in El Salvador, it took a leader willing to be authoritarian in a positive way, and with California, I don't know how realistic that is, but I'm hoping that if and when the elections are inevitably fixed, that we can get to some point like that. And maybe they can have, instead of just the National Guard deployed in Los Angeles, we can just look at an entire statewide deployment and start taking care of that trash on the streets. Cam Cooksey is now here. Cam, how are you, buddy?
Guys? I'm doing all right, man. The last 36 hours have been pretty wild, but
really, what's going on?
So nothing bad, but at home in the upstairs, we had a guy come over and try to figure out what was going on with the clog upstairs in one of the toilets. And he proceeded to push everything.
It was. Yeah, I was gonna say, Cam, you shit like a bear, man. That's what happened.
I don't use that bathroom. It's, I don't use that bathroom.
Put it on
you just blamed it on Jackie.
No. So we live with. So this is still funny, but it's actually my brother's bathroom.
Oh no, it's even worse. He's dropping bombs.
Dude,
your brother doesn't care. He's at your house. He doesn't care. Dude, he comes over just to take a shit.
No, we all live together. My brother's autistic, so we're always around, so he's just always there. But what happened was the guy snaked the drain or whatever and was doing everything, and he proceeded to push it downstairs to where we are, and it shot out of the sink. But let me finish. Not the bathroom sink, the sink in the living area. So and then
wait, sink in the living area. You have a sink in your living room? So what the hell?
So, all right. So it's
Cooksey Estates, dang.
No, Jackie and I live in the basement. So it's my mom, my dad, my brother, my brother, and then myself and Jackie are downstairs. It's like an apartment style basement.
Got it.
And so the bath, but that's not the worst of it. So it starts coming out of the shower, starts coming out of the bathroom toilet. So the entire bathroom is filled with the water. It seeps into the room where our closet is. It goes into our living area.
Did you know that it was happening when it was, or did it take some time for you to discover?
Jackie was on the computer doing work, heard a noise that I think she was tutoring. Heard a noise that startled her, came and got me from the garage because I was working in the garage. And then I came in there and I was just like, well, this is horrible. And then proceed to go into the bathroom and then find out. So run upstairs to get the guy. He spent all yesterday trying to clean it up and everything. Then we got a hotel room last night. That's why I'm in a hotel down the road a little bit. But then
you need like a hazmat crew.
Yeah, shit.
So there was actually lots of shit.
Yeah.
So these three wonderful ladies that clean upstairs, because my mom's too old to be able to move around anymore and very well. My dad's always working, so I take care of the house, but they do the cleaning upstairs, and then Jackie and I do it downstairs. And so these ladies, they're such awesome people. So they came over and they cleaned today ferociously. Awesome. And I was literally just back at the house. That's why I ran here, because I left my cord for my microphone at the house. So that's why I was late. So I literally at 9:45, I just took off driving and I just got back. So
run to the house, grab your nose, scrounge around.
No, it actually smells good now. Yeah, it smells good now. The place is clean.
You've just gotten used to it. Is that what you're saying?
No. But I'm done with that story, man, because I want that part of my life to be over. That's
all right. We'll put it out of our minds. Thoughts and prayers, as always. Listen, before we continue with all of the awesome story time for tonight, we do have to give big shout outs to our sponsors, beginning with Silent. Introducing Silent. You guys, empower your right to disconnect with the Silent Faraday cage bag. In a world where tech never sleeps, our mission is to keep you safe, private, and healthy. Our patented technology shields your devices from tracking, hacking, and EMF radiation, giving you autonomy over your digital life. Disconnecting sparks creativity, strengthens relationships, and it brings peace of mind. With Silent, you get effortless gear built with integrity, always staying one step ahead to protect your data and security. So choose Silent and claim your freedom to disconnect by visiting badlandsmedia.tv/SLNT, pronounced silent, and use the promo code Badlands to snag your discount. Once again, that's badlandsmedia.tv/SLNT, and the promo code is Badlands.
They're very attractive products.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be going off grid, you want to do it in a comfy and secure and stylish way.
Or if you want all the joys of going off grid without actually going off grid.
Well, let's just say you need to go from point A to point B and you don't want to be tracked.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah. You can just throw it over your back, throw it over your chest. Either way, you're all good.
Has anyone talked to Jonathan Drake yet?
Oh,
yes. Yeah, we have.
Oh, okay.
We opened the show.
We opened the show.
Jonathan Drake. We already did a whole bit about his color scheme and all of that.
That's right. Yeah. I'm the resident vampire.
Okay.
I did actually have another question for you, Jonathan. Now that Chris brings it inevitably back to you, you've got a like a total retro hi-fi stereo receiver in the background behind you, or is that a record player? And I just can't tell because you have a fedora on it.
Yes, that is an old Pioneer. I think it's from the 76 or 77, something like that.
Okay.
980X or something. I can't remember the exact model number. My uncle is an absolute audiophile.
Cool.
And gave me that a number of years ago. I had it set up, but like I said, this was kind of a storage room until recently, and so I had to kind of clean it out. And so that's just been sitting there getting dust.
At a certain point, those like 30 cubic foot giant stereo speakers do get in the way. You can only put so much stuff on top of them.
I opted for, I mean, I to my own fault, I tend to do things myself. So I wanted good quality speakers. So I found these, some dude on YouTube was making these using audio exciters, which is like the magnet like it's a speaker without the cone essentially.
Okay.
And then it's got an adhesive on it, you attach that to whatever surface, it can be a piece of foam, and it turns it into, instead of a direct, I think they call them it's some type of a panel speaker. I can't remember the exact acronym for it, but you could connect it to a cardboard box if you want, but it turns that material into a speaker. So what I end up doing is I got material for making guitar tops, and I glued them together to make big squares. And so like listening to classical music on those things is amazing because it's the same material that the instruments are made out of.
Wow.
And it kind of has like those old Bose wave radios they talked about, like the sound, which kind of encompassed you because, with a hi-fi setup, you've got it. My uncle was always like, all right, sit right here.
Right.
Like that's the spot that he had everything, all the waves bouncing and hitting you at the right spot. These, you can sit pretty much anywhere in front of them or even behind them. And the sound just, it is expansive and like, it's almost like wearing headphones without wearing headphones, but I don't have them set up right now.
That's so cool. My dad was an audiophile too. And when he passed away in 2009, he had like, it's sweet HD like receiver setup with like everything from the 70s. Like he kept meticulous care of it. And I kept it for a while, but at a certain point, it just took up too much room. We had to get rid of it. What about the fedora? Because I had my grandfather's fedora for years, loved it, thought it was the coolest thing. Is that like a new fedora, or is that also from the family?
Like the whole bullwhip thing.
I don't even see the bullwhip.
Well, because we auctioned off or raffled off one at Deadwood.
That's right.
And that's the one that I made. And that got started a number of years ago. Our church did a vacation Bible school that was Indiana Jones themed. And the people that were organizing it asked me to be like for the opening night skit. They're like, hey, can you play the Indiana Jones character? I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of fun. So I got to get Indiana Jones stuff. So I bought a fedora, which is difficult because I've got a ridiculously large head. And so then I'm like, I need a bullwhip. And so I bought a cheap one. I could not crack it to save my life. I found an YouTube. There's every hobby has a corner of YouTube that's like their own. So there's like whip enthusiasts, and this guy makes whips, reviews whips, and he was reviewing the exact same whip. He couldn't get it to crack. I'm like, okay, it's not me. So then I was like, well, try and buy a better quality one, but I mean, they're hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's like, well, I can make one. So that's what I did. So I still have the hat. That this torch actually I made that too. Like there's LED lights inside it, so when you turn it on, it looks like it's on fire. and that's when I like walked through the sanctuary, you know, looking for stuff and doing.
I was going to say, do you have the stone pedestal with the golden head on it on the other side of the camera?
No, I made some other props that we used instead. It ended up being, the kids really enjoyed it, and I cracked the whip up on stage and scared a lot of them. It was a lot of fun.
Is that the same bullwhip that Ash almost got arrested for on the streets of Deadwood?
So no, but well, actually, yes and no. I used that one the next year. We did the same theme for the VBS the next year. But yeah, that was fun.
That's great.
Yeah, I had my George Costanza moment when the cop pulls up and just was like, should I not have done that? Is that wrong? Is that wrong?
It's an old west town. Come on, people used to shoot each other in the streets.
Oh, I
Right?
know.
I don't
Like
see how
Cam
that's possibly illegal.
Cam made that point. He's like, dude, they were shooting guns in the street just that afternoon. Like, what's the big deal?
I know.
But, yeah.
She was just doing her best Calamity Jane imitations.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah, because I changed the end of her whip and she couldn't actually get hers to crack. And so I tried cracking hers. I couldn't get it to crack either. And so then I was like, well, here, let me show you what it should sound like. So I had my whip with me. So I didn't even crack it that hard, but due to the narrow street and the buildings, it echoed. And
so is there something special to the leather, like the type of leather that you're using to craft a bullwhip, or is the cost built into the craftsmanship itself?
Leather bullwhips are typically made from kangaroo leather, but the ones I make are made with paracord.
Okay.
And so there's multiple layers to a whip, and the whole idea is to get them to be tapered so that it's one continuous even taper, because that's the secret to the thing actually breaking the sound barrier. Is that when you make the motion to crack it, like most people when they try to crack, they'll do like the like in the third Indiana Jones, when he splits his chin open, he takes it and he just brings it straight down. Well, that brings that right back towards your face. People, cut their ears and stuff. So you throw it out and it creates a loop, and that loop will go down the taper. It accelerates, and by the time that little end, the cracker, makes that motion, it's breaking the sound barrier. So there's multiple layers on each side, but it's a parachute cord that is, the core has been taken out of it. And then the final step, you soak it in paraffin wax that gives it some weight to it, makes it waterproof.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Dang.
All right. So I'm like actively, as you're speaking, trying to price out a kangaroo leather bullwhip right now.
Well, the guy that made them for the Indiana Jones movies, I think his son still makes them. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Those are $1,200 to $1,500, I think.
Okay. Well, the one that I thought must be the inflation, because this one is 1910.
David Morgan, that's his name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
yes.
That is a that looks like a similar version to what would have been used in the Indiana Jones movies. Although looks like it's saying that's the one from Mask of Zorro. Yeah.
I love it that you know.
Well, no, it says it right there on the.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not that much of a nerd.
Okay, let's look at the Indiana Jones whips. Why not? There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, this one's slightly more reasonable at $1,860.
Yeah.
And
for those of you out there that are thinking of buying one, start with a shorter whip. They're a lot easier to learn on like 8 foot or under. Just throwing that out there.
You're gonna start a revolution.
Yeah, which is why I made a 10-foot one for Deadwood.
That's so great. That's so great. Oh my goodness. All right. We do have another sponsor that I've got to do, guys. And that's going to be for All Good. Introducing All Good, ingredients with purpose. All Good is making self-care great again with clean, natural essentials that deliver results. Elevate your hair care routine with All Good's deep conditioning tallow hair mask. In just 30 minutes every day, every few washes, rather. This powerful formula delivers deeply nourishing, strengthening, and restoring of radiant shine, leaving your hair soft, manageable, and frizz-free. It's got no PFAs, no sulfates, no parabens, and no BS. All Good uses only purposeful, natural ingredients like 100% grass-fed tallow and premium organic oils for unmatched quality. Customers are raving. They call it a game changer for dry hair and purely natural magic. So ditch the mainstream chemical-laden products and refine your self-care routine with All Good by our own Jessica Storm. Try the hair mask and the rest of the collection for yourself by visiting badlandsmedia.tv/allgood, and a portion of your purchase goes directly to support Badlands Media. Don't forget to use the promo code Badlands to get 5% off and free shipping over $75. Once again, that's badlandsmedia.tv/allgood and use the promo code Badlands. So, Chris, what about you? Any crazy stories? Anything happened recently that you want to lay on us?
I have absolutely nothing interesting to talk about.
That's perfect.
Well, thank you for coming.
Goes over, guys.
I was hoping I could say interesting things about things you guys were talking about.
I like that.
What you're demonstrating, though, is that routine is the spice of life. That's what I've discovered that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. No drama, no bad news.
Exactly.
It's all good, man.
Just
when I was younger,
over and over again forever.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to hate like routine. Now I kind of get sick of it. I get sick, not sick. I get pissed off when I don't have like a routine going. Like when you're young, you're like, yeah, I want adventures. I want something different. When you're older, you're just like, man, that's so exhausting.
No, totally. I remember those days.
I did the adventure stuff when I was younger. I'm good with that now.
Yeah, I remember those days when it was like embarrassing if you were like at home on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, oh, cool. I get to be home on Saturday, do nothing. I have no plans. Love it.
I feel like COVID made it okay for me to like be not lazy, but just like be a hermit again.
See, another silver lining of COVID. That's wonderful. So glad we went through all that just so we could feel good about staying home.
Right.
Sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember the point in my life when weekends stopped meaning anything to me. Like there was a long while there where it was like, yes, it's Friday. We're going out. We're going to do something fun. And then it just kind of bled in with everything else. Weekends were just another day.
Yeah.
And now we do this on a Friday night. It's
right.
The job I work is the schedule's crazy enough that I've not known what a weekend is for a long time because I'm usually off in the middle of the week or something. And every time they hire new people that are really young, we know that they're not going to last because they're like, wait a minute, I don't get a weekend anymore. Like, this is crazy. And then they scoot pretty quick.
Yeah. Besides not having weekends, is the job labor intensive or is there anything else to it?
No, it pays too well to leave. It's, I'm troubleshooting automated equipment. And operating it, we fill rail cars with starch, we fill bags with starch. I operate our dryers that take the slurry and turn into starch. It's kind of interesting when you actually understand how the stuff works. But the biggest problem there is that while companies like Cracker Barrel are getting the memo to not do stupid woke stuff, my company has gone all in. I think they got bought out a couple years ago by an investment corporation. I think that they made it their goal to make our company like the crown jewel of DEI initiatives. So,
we're the DEI leader in the starch industry,
dude. It's like, so it is union based, which
there you go.
I've got. Although that actually has less to do with this. This year was a contract year, and it's the first year that they actually codified diversity, equity, and inclusiveness in our contract. So they're not there, even though it is literally causing an existential crisis at the plant. As far as nobody knows anything. All the new hires don't want to be trained, or they don't have the aptitudes for this type of stuff.
That's
like you kind of have to be mechanically inclined.
I really actually love to hear that.
Oh, I do. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Like it used to really bother me. Like, oh my gosh, like they're so stupid. Like, how do they not see this stuff? And now it's just like, if this place goes under, then that'll give me the impetus to leave. That'd be great.
No, it's not you. Tell me, is there a permissible number of mice per like ton of starch?
No.
Here we go.
Or maggots.
Yeah, mice, maggots, or cockroaches, bugs, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
it's a trick question. I know that there is, and I'm just wondering what it is.
No, I know that. So if it comes in a wrapper and it has modified cornstarch in the ingredients list, I guarantee you, and you either of any of you have consumed that product, I guarantee you, I probably handled that cornstarch.
Really? Are you talking about like processed foods?
What else
Yeah, and
did you handle before you handled that
Right?
cornstarch?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I'm not the problem.
Okay, just checking.
So, yeah, we have food grade, like, programs, and there's food safety protocols, and we are supposed to do all these checks and all that kind of stuff. And it's all on paper. That's what it is. And anyone that works in a food grade processing place, that sounds, from talking to other people, it sounds like this is fairly common. It's just a label. The protocols are not followed if it requires any sense of money. Like I ran our food grade dryer, and it's disgusting. And like, there's nothing you can do about it, because it's like the design we're using. It was actually interesting being at Deadwood and being in that old mining facility and reading about the equipment that they used, because a lot of the equipment that's used in drying the starch is brought over from the mining industry. Oh, wow. So these huge presses with cloth belts that starch is pumped into, and then air blows the liquid through the cloth, and then you're left with a cake of starch. And it's impossible to keep those things clean. They're not designed really with food in mind, but they're like, oh, this will work. So it's supposed to be sanitized, and it does get sanitized, but there's just no way to keep it clean at all.
So you said you've got food grade and then non-food grade.
Yeah.
What applications would non-food grade cornstarch be used for?
Yeah.
So it's treated with certain chemicals and certain acids and things to bring it to different levels of thinness on a molecular level. And then it's used in things like paper manufacturing. One of our products, like if you buy a magazine that's got a glossy sheen to the paper, that's actually cornstarch.
Oh, wild.
It's used in paper, like actually the binder in paper manufacturing. We've got a product called wallboard that is used in drywall manufacturing. So it's like, oh no, a hurricane's coming. That means we're going to get a bunch of sales for wallboard, because people are going to have to replace a lot of drywall.
Because it's going to turn to oobleck.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, I know people talk about like, drywall today seems like it gets moldy a lot faster.
Yeah.
That's probably has to do with our products, I'm sure.
It's cornstarch. It's no longer gypsum. That's interesting. Wow.
It's like the binder. I think they use it as the binder, like, of the paper on the, because drywall is sandwiched with paper. Yeah. But but you talk about the rats. And so, like, I tell people, like, don't feed your dogs dog food that has corn in the ingredients list, because our wet milling process grinds the corn, they steep the corn, they turn it into a slurry, and then they pump it to different parts of the plant where it's made into different things. And there's certain parts of the process that don't work well. And when that happens, it dumps a lot of like excess ground corn, like the part that they're not using, to the ground. And there's massive piles, just massive piles. And at night you shine a flashlight out there and it's just crawling with rats. And like, I'm talking biggest rats you've ever seen. And there was a stretch there for a summer that we were bringing in slingshots on nights. And we'd go out and go hunting. And I was averaging like 5 or 6 a night. You just like take a little ball, but so that stuff that hits the ground is used. Like one of our big customers is Purina. And they put it in dog food. Cattle farmers love that stuff because cows just, that's what they're feeding to cows because it bulks them up, makes them fat.
Yeah,
but it's
and then it puts a hole in their stomach.
Yeah, well, and then there's all kinds of other issues when it comes to that. But it's food grade, right?
God, that's terrible.
There's pigeons all over the place, and it's that they get sucked into air inlets and stuff.
So you're basically Charlie Kelly in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Hunting the rat.
Except that I wasn't. Yeah. I'm not to that level. I tried to stay slightly cleaner than he did.
Now, I see people trying to guess the name of your employer in the chat, and I think we should probably go on record and say we shouldn't say the name of the employer on the air unless you're comfortable with it. I wouldn't want to
I would I'll keep it under wraps for now.
I like hearing these stories though. They'll scare you straight into eating like super healthy. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like my first friend that worked at a fast food place when we were in high school, and he's like, "Dude, don't ever go through a fast food drive-through." He's like, don't even want to know what's in it.
Well, it's like what's the old Simpsons episode when Lisa becomes a vegetarian because she watches the documentary with Troy McClure about the feeds or the animal slaughtering house.
Yes. I'm Troy McClure. So good.
Now we're going to the killing floor. Don't let the name fool you. It's just a grate. It allows material to sluice through.
Oh my God. I haven't seen The Simpsons in decades, but I used to love it when I was a kid. I remember when it premiered. That's insane.
It was good back in the 90s.
Yeah,
I remember that too, Zach. You remember all those T-shirts that everybody in junior high had? Like,
Eat my shorts,
Cowabunga dude, and all
that. Yeah, eat my shorts, right?
My shorts, yeah.
So what's funny is that my mom's best friend had her husband worked at the new Fox affiliate that was just starting because Fox was suddenly brand new and now they've got this new television channel, and they had this event for I guess people that were going to be working there and like friends of people that were working there. And so we got to go, and there was this like gala where they introduced all of the programming, and The Simpsons was part of that. And I was just like, oh my God, this looks amazing. And,
remember it started out on the Tracy Ullman show. It was like a little
that's correct.
Tracy Ullman show.
Yes, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and it was funny because like Homer was like really angry all the time. You know, he was like totally different Homer.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun to go back and look at the origins of it. It's wildly different.
God, the animation was so different too. I used to
it was super primitive too. It was
it was. Good God. So let's talk real quick about President Trump being an FBI informant for the Epstein case. Now, this wasn't news to me, but I felt like everybody on Twitter had never heard this before. And I guess I was interested to know if you guys were aware. I mean, I guess I thought all of us were aware.
Yeah, I think we all knew.
We all knew, but I think it was just Mike Johnson kind of confirming it out loud to the media that I think was a little bit confirmation, I guess, if you will, or however much you can trust what Mike Johnson says. But
if I'm not mistaken, I mean, MTG said it a couple of weeks ago too. It just I didn't
see that, but
wasn't there a case in 2019 though that like the Trump like they acknowledged that Trump was an informant for the going against the mob back in the 80s, like in Atlantic City and all that.
I don't know that was
the Badlands guys talking about that years ago.
That's where I heard it from.
Yeah, we've definitely discussed that before, but I don't know that was like an official release or anything like that. But I mean, like that was another aspect of Trump's affiliation with the FBI that was known. Working with Rudy Giuliani to take down the mob in Atlantic City.
Yeah, but I think Zach, I think it was confirmed that he offered his services to the FBI when he was building his casino. But I don't know if we've ever actually seen any evidence that, hard evidence that he actually was an informant. I just think we just kind of assume based on how things played out after that.
Well, I know that, Michael Wolff wrote a book years ago where he had made the claim in his book, and I had read Filthy Rich by James Patterson years ago as well, and it discussed the relationship between Epstein and Trump, or lack of a relationship. It was essentially the culmination of the destruction of whatever relationship they had. And what's going to be interesting to me is I want to see how the internet reacts to it, the people who didn't know about it, because I've seen a lot of people who have they have found that someone gave information to the FBI to take down like a criminal enterprise or like a bad person, and then people will go on the internet and be like, oh my God, they're a Fed, you can't trust them now because they worked with some aspect of the FBI, as if it has a like a homogenous culture that exists across all levels. Every single person, if they are affiliated with the FBI in some way, that must mean that they're an evil person and part of the deep state.
That's like one of those things that you do when you're like first in your connect the dots stage.
I agree.
Being like a truther on the internet. Like, I found out that this person has met with this person. Or like taking a picture with them. Who cares?
Yeah.
Lots of people know lots of people. And if you are a high profile person like Donald Trump, the number of people who have come up and introduced themselves to Donald Trump and taken pictures with Donald Trump over the last 45 years.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I find most abhorrent, when people will attend a public event that Donald Trump is present at and then get a picture with him. And then they attempt to pass that off as some type of a relationship. Like, look at me, I'm taking a picture with Trump. That means that, I'm a super secret squirrel spy or something.
there are like quasi MAGA truthers who have tried to like come at me for some of the things that I say online. And they're like, look at this picture of me with Donald Trump.
I'm an authority
than you.
Yeah.
All right.
How much did that ticket to Mar-a-Lago cost you?
Right?
Tell us that first.
How long did you wait in the greeting line?
Right.
Yeah.
What raffle did you win to get a ticket to it?
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah. How much did you donate?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I've seen so many people just in general, like it's the whole it's almost like the high school popularity contest type thing. Like people, any type of celebrity, like even the the names on TV, people are like, oh, well, I had a meeting one time with Pete Hegseth, and because I met him one time, I know what he's thinking and why he's making these decisions as Secretary of Defense. It's like, what are you talking about?
Secretary of War.
I was going to say,
Secretary of War. Sorry. I saw that.
Get it right, Cam.
That's right.
That means we're at peace, though. Whenever we have a Secretary of War, we're at peace.
It's
Well, yeah, and then Chris posted today that Trump is no longer in the running for the Nobel Peace Prize, right? Because he renamed the Secretary.
Really? Did they say that?
No, it's that his odds went.
Oh, the
down
odds are. That's what
on
it was.
Poly
Yeah.
Market.
Okay. But it's peace through overwhelming strength.
Yeah.
How do they not see that?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting when we get to funding arguments. Like, hey, we need $1 trillion to fund the Department of War.
Yeah.
Really? Who are we intending to go to war with?
Yeah, you're right, Chris. I mean, it's like changing the name from Department of War to Department of Defense was just, one of the early examples of the sugarcoating, just like the Affordable Care Act. Like everything they name is like the opposite of what it really is. So it's kind of cool that he's going back to the original. And it's a great point about the funding. Like, do they really be on record giving more money to the Department of War? It's going to be
something tells me that they'll find a way to justify it, though. The illegitimate Congress is going to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Well, their special interests are beholden to will require it, no matter what it's called. Yeah,
they already have a habit of calling actions of war peacekeeping missions, right? So I mean,
UN peacekeepers.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
as they're out raping like the women and children in the world where they're
Yeah.
stationed. Yeah, it's real peace.
Yeah, UN sanctioned child trafficking and organ harvesting.
Right.
Brought to you by
peacekeepers.
Brought to you by the U.S. tax dollars.
Yeah, well, no more, hopefully. I have to be honest. I as much as I would love to see President Trump win a Nobel Peace Prize, I don't feel like it's a realistic expectation, because the people who control that committee and who would be making the decisions, I don't think it matters how many nations that have been torn over wars for decades and decades and decades coming forward and saying, if it wasn't for Trump, we'd still be killing each other. And so I don't see it as a realistic possibility. And I think that the Nobel Committee, whether it's, science or peace, either way, totally corrupt.
I'd say that their opinion doesn't matter. I mean, when they gave it to
100%
Obama for
that's where I was
not done anything, and then
he ruined it with that one.
How many drone strikes did he authorize? And you can just go down the list. The scientists that they award with that stuff, and you dig into, Polymathanon. He's active in Chris's chat, and he started to get me down the Tom Cowan rabbit hole, talking about like DNA, and Watson and Crick got Nobel Prize for discovering the double helix nature of DNA. And it's like, it doesn't take long listening to Tom Cowan talk about this, and you're just kind of like, this kind of sounds like a bunch of bullshit, and stuff that you just take for granted, but you actually dig into their methodologies, and you realize that they're highlighting the ones in the regime that are pushing their ends. Because ultimately, I think stuff like that just helps to set up their religion, which is the state, because it all points to the state. It all 100%. Points to basically anti-God.
Yeah. I mean, in the absence of God, your ideology must be the state. There's nothing else that you can look to that's going to take care of all of your needs.
And science is their
It's
Bible.
why it bothers me so much that so many of my Christian friends, people in church and all that just cannot see that. They're not closet statists, they're just outright statists, and they don't see the disconnect between, ultimately, I think being a Christian and being a statist are two diametrically opposed concepts, but they don't see it that way.
Well, Jonathan, haven't you heard our rights are not derived from a creator. They are derived from the state and
That's
from
right.
the laws.
That's right.
Did you hear Tim Kaine say that? I couldn't believe it.
I didn't hear that.
Wait, when?
Oh, like yesterday. Hold on. I'll pull the clip.
Oh, I
up
thought this
because-
was like old or something.
No. This is new. And it's
Wow.
Obviously in conflict with everything that is the foundation of our nation. Let me see.
I didn't know Tim Kaine was still around.
He certainly is.
Man, on the Nobel thing, you know what Trump did with the Pulitzer Prize and made it totally worthless now? When he doesn't get the Nobel Peace Prize after stopping 7 or 8 wars or whatever, whatever it'll ultimately be, the Nobel Prize isn't going to mean anything anymore.
No,
it doesn't mean anything.
It already doesn't. All these prizes are just a way for these criminals to basically prop themselves up and give them some sort of appeal to authority, where they're the authority because they won a Nobel Peace Prize or they won a Pulitzer Prize. So it gives them this false credibility with the public. And so I love that Trump is, pointing out how just completely illegitimate these organizations and awards are, just like the Academy Awards are for anybody like you, like Chris, Hollywood. I mean, it's all political, like how you get an Academy Award. And
people don't realize. Yeah, sorry, Jay, I didn't mean to cut you
go
off.
ahead. No.
I was going to say people don't realize that the people who receive award nominations and victories are sponsoring, or someone sponsoring on their behalf, like months-long PR campaigns to push those people for nominations, for awards, and the rest of it. So it's very PR oriented.
Yeah, tons of money backing that. The studio gets behind something and really pushes it. That's your award. So what's the point of it? There's nothing organic about it. It's not the best actor that's getting it. It's the person who is promoted, much like our political system works.
I was about to say elections, bro. It's literally elections.
Whoever has the biggest war chest, right?
Yeah.
And it's silly. It's meaningless. It goes to Chris's whole point that elections are completely fake, and that's just one other aspect of it that goes along with all these awards.
Yeah, it makes the public think that the nomination or the award or the election win or whatever it is was totally justifiable because the people actually supported that. That's never true.
Never. No.
All right. I'm going to play this Tim Kaine clip here so you guys can see what our enemy thinks.
The notion that rights don't come from laws and don't come from the government, but come from the creator. That's what the Iranian government believes. It's a theocratic regime that bases its rule on Shia law and targets Sunnis, Baha'is, Jews, Christians, and other religious minorities. And they do it because they believe that they understand what natural rights are from their creator. So the statement that our rights do not come from our laws or our governments is extremely troubling.
What?
The notion.
Has he read the Declaration of Independence?
Hold on, real quick.
Apparently not.
So he's saying that before there was a government and document written down, we had no rights as human beings. Like that's literally what he's saying. He said until a human being wrote it down, we did not have rights. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my not dumbest thing, one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
It's up there.
Yeah,
that's right up there. Boy, that is ignorant.
My a big problem I have with that is that nobody seems to correct him. Like, I mean, he's got minders, right? He's got interns that are sitting directly behind him. Like somebody said, Tim, the Declaration of Independence, right? Like nobody thought to like say anything to him, and he hasn't issued a retraction or a correction. And I mean,
how did he not think of that though? Like, I mean, it's like
Right?
the first thing that should pop into your head when you're saying there are no
obviously did it
such
on
thing as
purpose.
unalienable rights from your.
Well,
from
the 14th
creators.
Amendment doesn't mention those, and that's their constitution. So
That's
That's
a
true.
good point.
That is their constitution.
Yep. If you read that, like Chris is one who turned me on to that stuff, is that if you read that amendment as if it's a constitution, it's almost comprehensive as far as setting up whatever they need to set up to do what they've done.
I've recommended many times that people read the book Our Secret Constitution by George P. Fletcher. He's a Columbia Law School professor, or was. I think he's passed on. Globalist, Zionist, leftist, all of it. The entire book argues that the Civil War was fought specifically to invert the Constitution with the Reconstruction Amendments. And they are proud of it, by the way.
Yeah, that's like not. They're not. They're not embarrassed by it. They're
Right.
actually embracing it. That's
And
crazy.
there's actually this Atlantic author. I can't remember his name. I think it's like Adams. It's not Adam Silver. That's like the NBA commissioner or something. I'll find it. But he called it like our second constitution or something. So they're like, this is a thing that the Constitution was replaced. And all of the globalists, all the statists, the people committed to our system and its institutions, they all think that this is the greatest thing ever, that it had to happen.
Boy, speaking of unalienable rights, I wanted to mention that, what the Florida Surgeon General Ladapo did with the vaccine mandates this week, because what I love about what he did was he framed the argument in terms of our God-given rights to personal sovereignty over our bodies, and not getting into the weeds about the science and vaccines cause autism. And, you can debate the science all you want. There's studies that'll say this and studies that'll say the opposite, but I love that he just came flat out and just made it more of a moral argument than anything else, because there's really no way they can win that argument. Especially in light of their whole abortion argument is, our body, our choice, right? So how do you say that and then demand people inject something they don't want to inject into their bodies or into their children's bodies? So, shout out to him. I think it sets a really good precedent. We'll see if other states follow. And of course, the
was
reaction.
that a wholesale, like for all vaccines, or was it just
for all vaccines?
For all vaccines? Okay, because I saw that, but I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, and he's saying, of course, they spin it to like, oh, he's banning all vaccines, and he's saying, no, I'm not banning any vaccines. I'm just banning the mandate to have to take a vaccine. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see where that'll head. I know California's already reacted, and they're coming up with their own sort of Department of Health recommendations outside of the CDC now that the CDC is being revamped under Kennedy. So it'll be an interesting thing to follow.
Which I think that aspect is great, because arguing the whole COVID stuff with a friend of mine, and he's kind of balks at the idea that there's a centralized control that everybody was being subjected under, because he's like, you have your local health departments, your state health departments, and people don't understand that people are inherently lazy. So if the CDC comes out with something and says you must do this, then that's what the states are going to do. That's what the counties are going to do, and so on. So it really is a pyramid structure for how that stuff was put into place.
Yeah, it's not a series of disconnected individuals making decisions based upon accepted science.
And nobody questioned the premise. It's oh, the CDC said it, so it must be true. But I rejected the premise. And I remember at my facility, they were having questions. They were asking, this is back in 2021, are you vaccinated or are you not vaccinated? They were asking customers at this day spa in Los Angeles this question. And I said, are you kidding me? And my friend's like, well, that's what the CDC is saying we have to do. And I said that you don't have to do anything. That's a HIPAA violation. You're putting people on the spot in public to like say what their vaccination status is. It's completely wrong. You're going to get the shit suit out of you. Don't do it. He goes, yeah, but the CDC. And I'm like, yeah, but the CDC what? They're wrong.
Yeah. The CDC does not have the ability to create laws with the effect of
or to
Congress.
override HIPAA laws.
Yes.
It was nuts, but it's this appeal to authority again. Well, the CDC said so. So
the CDC doesn't give us our rights like Tim Kaine would suggest?
Well, no, I mean, in the world of Tim Kaine, and actually Ted Cruz did respond to Tim Kaine. So I'm going to play his response. Now, think what you may of Ted Cruz, but sometimes he's got some bangers.
Troubling. So Senator Kaine said in this hearing that he found it a radical and dangerous notion that you would say our rights came from God and not from government. I just walked into the hearing as he was saying that, and I almost fell out of my chair because that radical and dangerous notion, in his words, is literally the founding principle upon which the United States of America was created. And if you do not believe me, and you made reference to this, Mr. Barnes, then you can believe perhaps the most prominent Virginian to ever serve, Thomas Jefferson, who wrote in the Declaration of Independence, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator. Not by government, not by the Democratic National Committee, but by God."
So I am certainly glad somebody said something, but I would be very interested to see if Tim Kaine had any sort of a response. I would imagine he probably didn't have anything to say back because it does make him look like one of the
He would say, "That's what I
people."
said."
Yeah.
Because the government is God for him.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's good.
Good point, Jonathan.
Oh, that's too funny.
It's nice that he yelled the most famous part of Joe Biden's stump speech.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
You know the thing.
I miss Joe Biden. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I miss him, man. Not as president or resident, but as like a character to watch.
So is Joe Biden, I'm sure.
Yeah, now he's just got to deal with cancer.
No.
Yeah, have we gotten any kind of update on that? That was just kind of a story, and then I heard nothing about it now.
He got a new cancer.
Yeah, he seems to have gotten a lobotomy over the weekend. He's he's got a big gash going across his forehead. What was funny to me about it is that he took his doll hairs and he brushed them over the gash. And of course, there's not that many of them, so you can still see this giant gash going through his head right there. And yeah, they said that he apparently had some type of a Mohs procedure or something like that to remove the cancer cells. They basically like take either a cauterizing device or perhaps a laser, and they just go over the cancer until you're basically at like the subdermis. And
my dad had that done.
Okay. Yeah. I saw somebody.
It's amazing how much material is there because he had
yes,
like a crater in his head for a while.
Yeah. I saw somebody have the same thing done behind their ear. They had like a pustule basically that like rose up and then wouldn't heal, and then they came in and they removed it, and underneath it they had to keep going and going and going, and then they just leave it open. That was the thing that was kind of crazy to me, is that it's just there, you know. Like I would think that they would have some kind of like bio glue or something to stick in there just to
my dad
level it.
Met with a plastic surgeon as part of that whole process, and the guy's like, well, basically we'll just monitor the healing. We try to do a skin graft like pulling from your thigh, but then your thigh is going to hurt and it's not really going to look any better. Yeah. So they just let it heal up, and it does.
Wild, man.
I mean, you can see a scar, but it's not like, whoa. Although he had to have more done, and they ended up doing something with a nerve there. So he looks like always surprised on one side. Yeah. I poke fun at him.
I was waiting for you to get to that because I was like, I have a feeling if it's your dad, you definitely mess with him. Why are you so surprised, Dad?
It's like, whoa, what did I say? Whoa. He's always like,
there's a girl at my gym who must have had too much Botox or something, and her eyebrows are like all the way up on her forehead. And I've never even spoken to her, but I've seen her there for like 10 years. And
that's Mrs. Captain Crunch to you, sir.
Yeah, no, exactly. In my head, every time I see her, I go, "Oh, there's the eternally startled chick," you know, like that's just what I call her in my head. I don't think she knows it. But...
Oh, that's good.
Oh my God. Is it the Botox or is it like she got too much skin cut out of her eyelids or something?
I have no idea what it is. It's
ask
probably like
her.
she had her eyelashes plucked and stuff, or her eye.
Oh man.
Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe she sees me at the gym and she's just horrified and startled. Who knows? Oh my God, it's him again. She refers to me as the eternally startling guy, and she's the eternal startled chick.
Oh my God. Oh, I saw another great clip that I wanted to pull up because it's indicative of, again, what we're fighting against. The irony here is palpable. And okay,
while you're pulling that up, those videos were hilarious that you were playing. I think it was on your show yesterday, maybe. Everybody else played them too at some point, but like all the Trump ones, I haven't been on the stream.
Oh God, yes.
I just wanted to throw that out there. That was great.
So good, so good. All right.
Oh
my.
So this is a TikTok video that this woman made. This is her caption, "Goodbye, healthy USA." And I just want to say, she does not look very healthy to me. So I don't know what her measurement is, but apparently it's not what RFK is doing.
Oh my God, I had to turn the TV off twice. The guy with the worm in his brain, like, what the literal fuck? He needs to go. The Secretary of HHS needs to go. He is putting the nation at high risk for outbreaks of childhood diseases.
What about scabies?
He doesn't care there's a measles outbreak.
Like on your
He
forehead.
doesn't believe in measles vaccinations. Says they all cause autism. Yeah. It took centuries for some of these childhood diseases and disorders to be eradicated through immunization.
So I just want to go on record, first of all, measles has not been eradicated. Okay.
No,
like it's still like out there. And if you get measles, you're not going to die. Like it's like the chicken pox, just a little bit worse. You get over it and then you don't have to worry about getting it again. But if you get the MMR vaccine, you have like a 98% chance of transmitting and then at some point still contracting measles if somebody happens to have it. And so like this was one of the big awakening points for me. I want to say, do you guys remember when there was a measles outbreak at Disneyland?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, so this was in like before Trump came in. And so they were using it as like a talking point to say that not enough kids were getting vaccinated with the MMR vaccine, and there were too many anti-vax parents. And so I went online. I was still on Facebook at this time, and I posted the efficacy study for the MMR vaccine. And I said, here's the data from the CDC and the United States Health Complex. And you can see that in their own study, they say that, you still have a 98% chance of contracting or giving measles to someone if you get the MMR vaccine. So I said, why would you want to get this? I mean, what's the point of it? And then come to find out, it wasn't parents in California not getting their kids vaccinated. It had something to do with people, illegals, coming from Mexico who they just weren't getting vaccinated at all. And so they would get the measles and everything would be fine. And then they came up here and they were spreading it around at Disneyland. And the kids that were getting it were the ones that were vaccinated. But it was a much worse scenario because they had the MMR vaccine and their immune system was all messed up as a result.
Yeah, their livers were probably full of toxic metal.
There you go. And their brains too.
He's taken the country backwards. God help the United States of America and all its citizens, because you're in danger of health issues.
That's kind of anti-immigration of her.
Good Lord.
That face.
It is crazy that these people will start their videos and say, I had to turn the TV off twice. Really? Like, are you emotionally equipped to be watching television?
Emotional damage.
I just had to go to the bathroom and look at the mirror and say, "Don't never forget what health looks like."
Yes, it looks so good. That dude had like a acute case of hyperthyroidism there at the end. The eyes just bulging out of the head. What the hell was that?
Do you think like that woman had eyebrows and she shaves them?
Yeah,
or do you think that like
I think they
something with
fell
that
out.
skin condition? Yeah,
I think they fell out.
She looks like maybe she has delusional parasitosis or something like that, and just picking and scratching at everything.
My guess is
methamphetamine.
her diet primarily
be.
consists of product. Her diet primarily consists of products that are made by the company I work for. That's just
That could be. That could be.
With a couple of rats in there too.
Or the steady diet of methamphetamines as well. I mean, that's totally reasonable.
Yeah,
reasonable. Oh my gosh.
I like how just somebody that, I mean, I'm not to pick on that dude or lady's appearance, but like you went and made a video and put it out on social media talking about health and how concerned you are for it. It reminded me of the COVID era when I'd have somebody like running up to me because I wasn't wearing a mask to reprimand me. And it was like, you're like 400 pounds. Like, you're really concerned about your health. And first of all, if I'm such a danger, why are you running right up to me to get so close, to catch
6 feet.
Catch my cooties, I'm like, you might be virtue signaling. I'm not gonna accuse you of anything, but you might just be virtue shit.
All I had to do was cough in public and I had plenty of space.
That was it. Yeah.
I did that more than once too.
Yeah. When people get too close, you're just like, nah, man. I know they're freaking out.
Well, in Michigan, people were like utterly obsessed with the mandates and the rules, and like the masking went on for so long, and I just couldn't believe it. And every time I go out, I would not be masked, and people would just be like giving me the death stare in the grocery store or wherever it was, gas station and stuff. The gas station by my house, they would refuse me service because I wouldn't mask up. And I was like, you're kidding me? Like, no, you can use the pump. And I'm like, well, I don't have my credit card with me today. Like, I need to pay cash. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but you can't get gas here. I was like, I can't even believe this.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, we would do that at the grocery store, just go in and you get in line, and then inevitably there'd be a checker that'd say, well, I can't, check you out because you're not wearing a mask. And I'm like, really?
Triggered.
Is that like literally you can just like ring up these three items I have and I'll be on my way, or you can make a big scene about it and it doesn't help anyone. Like if you think I'm such a danger, I'm already here, already in your face.
I was already talking in your face. Like, what is it going to change at this point?
It's not going to change anything. It's all virtue signaling, and that's all it ever was. It's quite despicable. Really.
I mean,
did you guys see the movie Eddington?
Not yet. And it's like I want to see it, but I'm waiting for it to show up free someplace.
I've already told Jaytriot at length about it in the car ride to Deadwood.
And I still haven't seen it, Chris, but I will get to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great movie. The first hour and a half of it is spot on what happened in 2020. And they kind of show both sides of it. The entire movie's set in this small town in New Mexico, like in the BLM period. So like June 2020. And so you got COVID and you have BLM happening at the same time. And man, they were just spot on with the dynamic of that time. So that part of it was really, really interesting. And then the movie kind of gets a little weird and kind of spins out of control and is not totally worth it. But the first hour and a half is really something.
I'll have to check it out.
Well, I will.
This is one of those things that we're, as a just people in general, we're going to have to process for a long time.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like there's at least in my community, there's like almost they've forgotten it's happened. Like you bring it up, it's like, oh yeah, we did that, 5 years ago. There's a men's group that meets at my house. We try to meet once a month, and usually there's a section where we kind of process COVID in some way, not intentionally, it just ends up coming up. Most of the guys, they weren't going along with things, but they're not conspiracy theorists. I always get crap for being conspiracy theorists and everything, but And we talked about that. Like it's going to need to get like talked out, not even in the sense of like justice needs to be done, but just what happened? Like, how did this happen? This was insane. Everyone has gone completely insane, and we just went along with it. I think it's going to take a long time to like work that through.
Well, a couple of decades off of the fluoridated water, and people might start to recognize what happened. Chris, I was thinking, because I looked at the box office returns on Eddington, and I have to believe that you alone recommending the movie to your audience, you've probably brought more money to that movie's bottom line than people organically saw it in the theater. Because it was a real stinker. Like, yeah, total bomb. People just didn't go to it.
Wow. Yeah, it ended up on streaming like a month after the theatrical release.
Yeah,
that's never a great indication.
No,
that's almost straight to DVD.
Well, if only they made DVDs still.
Well, yeah, concept anyway.
The interesting thing is that they did the same thing with Superman. It was literally like 30 days. Like they actually pushed the release up from where it was supposed to be. And I think it's likely because it just wasn't making as much money as they needed it to. And by pushing it to digital, taking it out of theaters, they essentially, get all of the profits rather than having to share half of them with the physical locations. Either way.
You should know that Eddington made $10 million.
Wow.
Okay.
Which is very
wow.
On a budget of
nothing.
$10 million.
It actually probably wasn't a very high budget film, except for the talent. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, Emma Stone, and Pedro
Pascal.
Yeah.
Of course.
I would think those actors just alone would have gotten paid more than that money grossed.
Not even close.
Okay.
I mean, I can't imagine.
I don't know what actors make. I just know the big name actors make a lot of freaking money to do a project. And
I know that it was a relatively small film. I mean, A24, Ari Aster, is that the guy who did it?
Yeah, he did Hereditary and Midsommar and stuff.
And Beau is Afraid too.
Crazy movie.
I love Midsommar and I love Hereditary. Both, like, Hereditary was truly one of the most frightening films I've ever seen, and Midsommar was just as unsettling.
Did any of you guys see Weapons?
Don't talk about it. I am super stoked to see this movie. I'm waiting. Loved Barbarian. Did you see Barbarian?
I haven't seen Barbarian. No.
Oh, dude, Barbarian is so good. I am positive I'm going to love Weapons, and I'm just waiting for it to come out because I'm definitely going to watch that right away.
What do you mean come out?
Well, I mean, it's at the theater.
Streaming.
I'm not going to go pay $30 for me and Lisa to see it at the theater once when I can pay $25 to watch it forever.
Yes, yeah, I get it, but the theater's kind of cool,
It is kind of cool. There are times that we've gone to the movies, but Lisa is not she doesn't like scary movies. Okay, so
it is not. If you are not a person that likes that sort of content, don't watch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
Like, I won't spoil anything,
okay,
Zach, but it gets kind of dark.
I thought so. I thought it was. Yeah. I pretty much have resolved the fact that I will be the only one watching it. But if I did go see it in the theater, I would have to go see it with Lisa, and I would have to convince her to see it, and she wouldn't have a good time, and then we would leave, and she would be angry with me for making her watch it.
Yes,
like
that's right.
There have been more than a few times where like she just looked at me halfway and she was like, what the fuck have you done? Like, what?
It would be totally valid.
But as I understand it, soft disclosure can remedy that situation because soft disclosure saves marriages, right? That's what the word on the street has been. So
funny you bring that up because soft disclosure did save my marriage very recently. But I want you guys to get ready to ignite a revolution with soft disclosure. This isn't just a product drop. It's a full-on movement that's about to shake things up. This is a personal care line that doesn't mess around. No compromises, just pure, unapologetic quality. First up, we've got the lotion. It's supercharged with aloe, goat milk, and our exclusive Badlands oil blend. This isn't your average drugstore goop. It is a barrier restoring powerhouse. Choose unscented when you want clean and simple, or vanilla citrus when you want to smell like you actually give a damn. Then we've got the deodorant, natural, aluminum free, and straight up badass. It's built to last 2 months with daily use, with scents like crisp mint or bold lemon grapefruit, which I absolutely love. No gimmicks, just protection that actually delivers. And finally, we've got the tallow bar. No, that's not deodorant. It's a vanilla coffee tallow stick. Primal fuel for skin that's been through hell. And you put it where you need serious moisture, like your elbows, your hands, knees, basically anywhere you're feeling tired, like sandpaper, and you just want baby soft skin. Every bottle, stick, and bar is handcrafted in Colorado by Badlanders who live and breathe truth. We're partnering with Willow Wind Farms and Badlands Media, putting our money where our morals are. Soft disclosure. Make truth your routine by heading to softdisclosure.com. Use the code Badlands and get $5 off and join the fight today. And I just want to say, Jonathan, thank you so much for queuing that up at the perfect time.
Well done.
That tallow bar's got
moment.
that tallow bar's got Cam's feet written all over it.
Oh yeah, those slave feet, man. I need something for those things.
No
Aren't you
more
supposed to
ashy
whisper it?
souls.
Aren't you supposed to? Soft disclosure.
Soft disclosure.
Yeah, it's just a whisper. It's soft disclosure.
Soft disclosure.
Man, speaking of movies, I haven't been to the movies theater in quite a long time, but I will be going next weekend to see the sequel to Spinal Tap, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm just praying to God they do it right and don't completely ruin
Jay,
that.
I hate to. I think you're going to get let down.
I know I am, because I've been waiting 41 years for a freaking sequel, and
I legit think it was like 2 decades ago that I heard they were working on a sequel to Spinal Tap.
Well, they've had 20 years to get it right then, Zach. Those guys are kind of comedic geniuses, though, I will say.
They are, sure.
Put their politics aside. It is a brilliant movie, and I don't think you could possibly do it justice doing a sequel. But hey, they did Top Gun sequel pretty well. So you never know. Maybe sometimes when they have 40 years, 4 decades to do it, to come up with an idea, maybe it won't be so bad. So we'll see. I'll give you my report next week.
All right.
Speaking of that crew, have you seen A Mighty Wind?
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yes. I love that movie. Yes.
Yeah. Best in Show, another great one with the same.
Oh yeah.
Waiting for Guffman.
Yep, Waiting for Guffman.
That one is I can't handle that one. That one just that's like Office level awkward comedy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm if you say that it's actually a funny film and they didn't wuss out on the comedy and go political, then I might be willing to check it out. But I just have very little faith in anything that's a revival after that many years, especially given the recent climate in Hollywood.
You don't trust Rob Reiner?
No, not at all.
Put your faith in Meathead.
Oh my God, Rob Reiner.
He's gonna have like an F Trump like graffiti in the background. Like there's bound to be something. I'll keep my eyes open for it.
Yeah. No, that's my biggest fear, is that they're gonna put something political in there and it's gonna piss me off. And
okay, but if they decide that they're gonna have like a political banner on stage, and they draw out the banner what they want, and then it gets lowered down, it's the size of a napkin, then I would laugh at that.
That would be
sure.
Because that'd be paying homage to the
Stonehenge.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I hear that they're actually going to make a Top Gun 3 now because Top Gun 2 was successful.
Okay, just leave it alone.
Well, I mean, Paramount just got sold, and I'm pretty sure that's a Paramount film.
Yeah,
but there's not a lot of like salvageable IP left at Paramount because they've destroyed Star Trek, and I can't think of anything else that they own that they could spin films out of. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and speaking of sequels, they're making Spaceballs 2 as well.
I did see that. Yes.
And I'm disappointed in Mel Brooks that he didn't call it what they said that Spaceballs 2 would be called in the first Spaceballs, The Search for More Money.
That's right.
That's not what it's called.
It's implied, though, right? By the fact that they're even doing it.
Right.
I would like to see a Blazing Saddles 2, personally. I know it's awesome. Not possible. I mean, but
hey, AI, man. Maybe
I'm surprised they haven't done like a Blazing Saddles remake, just totally woked out and like
just
PC.
ruined it.
Just complete. Yeah, it just has no resemblance to the original because every line in that movie is so
No funny
incorrect.
racism.
It would be quite a challenge to take like the most woke person and say, here, take this movie and make it woke and do a remake. Let's see what you come up with.
You're like, I can't do this.
Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT to do it.
They would have to take like a white colonizer and drop them into a like a
Wakanda.
third world African village, right? There you go, in Wakanda. Yeah,
crossover movie.
And all the jokes would be about how like the food's too spicy, too much sun, the bugs are killing me. God, there's no electricity. The modern conveniences aren't here. And of course, just I mean,
write the script, Zach. I think you're onto some.
I wouldn't watch that movie though.
They'll love it.
No, but I mean, directed by Tyler Perry. Come on.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Tyler Perry, man. Think about the dirt that guy had to do to be able to get to where he's at, man.
Oh God. I mean, yeah, he's a total closet homosexual. I mean, that just was
closet. No, I'm just kidding. Sure about the closet?
Well, I mean, officially he's married, but
yeah, he's got a beard.
A beard. That's correct. That's what he's got.
The sheriff is a closer. That, like nothing would make sense. It would just like every joke would be. Anyway, sorry.
All right. Well, listen. Let's go through some of these rants. I think I missed a couple. I've missed saving a couple. So we're going to begin. First of all, Polymathodon, who says, welcoming gift for my brother, Jaytriot, and to everyone. And Una Panuna Banca says hello too, which means that we have the obligatory. Never forgive you, Chris.
I mean, you should be saying that I will never stop thanking you for that.
Thank you, Chris.
And I gotta say, it's good to hear that because without Chris's show on the radio anymore, we're kind of going through a drought here.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me add these, and there we go. Okay, so next, Beth. Jonathan will forever be known as a whip enthusiast on OnlyLands. That's actually a really good idea. We can put a little tagline under Jonathan Drake and make it say whip enthusiast.
Jonathan, you could actually do that yourself if you look in the three dots right over your picture at the bottom of StreamYard.
And I already beat you to it, whip enthusiast. There you go.
Almost. You forgot the H.
Oh, did I forgot the H. God,
there you go.
Well, almost, he said.
Almost.
Okay. May Jen says, whoop, whoop. Chris Paul in the house. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for sacrificing your Friday evening for our game.
You're welcome.
As earlier stated, May, I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but the weekend means nothing. And
enjoy being home.
For all the parents in the room, of course, you understand that, but you get past a certain age and it doesn't matter. Candy08 says, please, Badlands crew, contribute a week to raise awareness on the dangers of Islam and Sharia law in the USA. We cannot become like UK and the rest of Europe in such a short period of time. So so I mean, I've talked about this individually on my own program on a number of occasions. Islamberg, the population in Dearborn. There was actually just a raid of some kind that happened in the greater Detroit area earlier today, I believe. I would think that probably the most high-profile example of that is that city that's being built down in Texas, but I feel like that's being dealt with. Like there's something happening. But I will do some type of a baseless conspiracies on it or something like that. If we devote an entire week just to Islam, we're gonna miss a lot of the plot. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I think that focusing that much on Islam is already kind of missing the plot. Yeah. And I understand why people are upset about the migration and the replacement and all of that. I'm down with absolutely every bit of that, but that's not Muslims running that whole program. So I don't know why we're focused on that part as like the big scary part, except if it's part of the same thing that they've been doing to us for decade after decade after decade after decade, saying, we need you to go fight wars in all of these different places because these people over here are really scary.
Yeah. And now that we are not going to be fighting wars in Islamic countries, we can very easily send people back to where they came from. No more dangers for them. But either way, Candy, thank you very much. And we'll continue to focus on as many dangers to the United States as possible. Patrick GBBP 417. Ted Cruz set Tim Kaine straight. Thank you very much. I actually didn't know that you put that in there, but I did find it. Admiral Chester My Nuts. I think
just cracks me up every time.
I think Jefferson is far wiser than Ted Cruz. I would agree. He writes, their creator, not the creator. He never argues in BOR, Bill of Rights, that our rights are derived from God. Mateo, say it.
Mateo.
127. I would have paid double the pay-per-view money to see DJT beat the shit out of Biden behind the gymnasium. Just saying.
I forgot he said that he would fight Trump at some point.
You know, I have to be honest. I feel like that would just be disturbing because, you know, Joe Biden would have just crumpled like a piece of paper, right? If you've ever
wait.
Yeah, Biden is literally Mr. Burns, you know, like he's the frailest human I've ever seen still walking.
Smithers, crush this paper cup for me.
Oh gosh. Also, ZBM says, I could be wrong, but I heard somewhere that scarlet fever killed more people than smallpox. Don't quote me, but scarlet fever is very deadly and no vaccine is made for it, and it's gone. So yes, I believe you're correct. Scarlet fever was a scourge, plague on mankind, and definitely killed a lot of people. Don't know the circumstances surrounding its eradication, but
it's probably just called something else, and we're no longer an agrarian society. So
yeah, that could be it. Yeah, it's probably got like a nutritional component to it, and now people don't have to worry about it. Like scurvy. Remember when scurvy was something that they didn't understand?
Yeah,
they just started taking limes.
Taking limes and became limeys.
Beth says, Jonathan, how often do you think about Rome? Or maybe more specifically, the fall of Rome. That's what I'm intuiting from that.
I told her in the chat as often as I read Romans.
Every time it just pops into my head. Bubba Fino says, if you have a projector and sound system, movies at home are great. You also have to have very good curtains, blackout curtains, because you want as little light as possible, and preferably a non-texturized surface on which to project the film. Down here in Florida, pretty much every surface, like walls and ceiling, are textured in some fashion.
Stucco, right?
Yes. Yeah. Stucco. Yeah.
Lots of stucco.
Jessica Garner 1, Ben Affleck's ex-wife, says, as a retired EMT, my favorite thing used to be to tell my patients masks don't work because pants don't stop farts.
I love that one.
I like
It's
that.
an excellent analogy.
There's literally no way to argue against that logic.
No,
Perfect.
no.
I was at a city council meeting when our town was, I think it was in 21, and they were talking about maybe trying to bring back a mask mandate, and someone got up and made that that point. That was great.
I love it. All right. And Grease Monkey 58 says, y'all need to do a clip of Biden whispering soft disclosure. I don't know if that exists, but if it does, I agree with you.
It can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then just creepily lathering up some child with it, like really close to that.
That may be a little too far.
Yeah, no, I don't think we want that kind of endorsement. Let's just leave Biden out of our soft disclosure.
All right. And then G Fontez 119 says, for feet, coat feet with Vaseline, then put on a pair of socks and wear to bed during sleep. Somebody tell me I'm wrong and how.
You're wrong because slave feet are a little different. I don't think that Vaseline can do it by itself. No, I'm just kidding. That actually does work.
That works. Bag balm, Cornhuskers lotion, that will also work.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, to be clear, soft disclosure is our product, and we feel a lot more comfortable if you purchase that.
This stuff works for me on everything. So
yeah,
Talibar
is the way to go.
Yeah. JK Nerdy says, had fun fellas. Thank you,
Thank
JK
you.
Nerdy. Appreciate that. Beth says Jonathan didn't bring up Spooner the whole show. Must have been too focused on the forks.
I know it. I can rectify that. I did have a I did have a quote where it was somewhat relevant earlier, but I didn't bring it up. But we talk about elections being fake and fraudulent and all that. So Spooner was writing, Lysander Spooner for the uninitiated,
Yes.
writing in the mid 1800s. And if you've not read No Treason, the Constitution of No Authority, it's very easy to find a free PDF online. But in section 6, he makes this comment regarding secret votes and the secret ballot system being a scourge. But he says the gross number of these secret votes, or what purports to be their gross number in different localities, is occasionally published. Whether these reports are accurate or not, we have no means of knowing. It is generally supposed that great frauds are often committed in depositing them. So elections were fake for Lysander Spooner as well. It's been a long time problem.
We have a long and storied history of fake and gay elections. Now, Beth says, officially transferring my Star is Born tag to Jonathan. Shine bright. You did great with a $20.
Does that mean I have to post as much in Chris's chat as she does? Because I don't think I can do that.
I don't think anybody can do that. And thank goodness for her.
Oh, that's that Beth? That's the Beth from your chat?
Yeah, Beth.
Oh, man. I literally know her because of reading your Telegram. Like, every time I see you repost something, it's Beth.
Thank you,
sources. She has like learned somehow learned my taste and what I think is signal and not, and is
Beth is like
incredible
your
at
human
supplying.
Alexa. She's like your human Alexa.
It's amazing. Yep.
All right. And we have no gold pills from the Pilled chat, but just in general, hello to those watching over there on Pilled. Do make sure that you hit that red pill. If you're watching on Rumble, please do make sure that you hit the like button. And if you don't have an account on Rumble, then it's very simple to go ahead and make one. I do believe that we should have a quick ad on Studio. I'm just checking with Jessica because she is controlling the back end. But
and while you're doing that, thank you to everybody on YouTube as well. I see a lot of you out there on YouTube.
Let me actually jump. Okay, nothing over there on YouTube.
I don't see any super chats, but thank you guys.
No super chat, but definitely all of the familiar faces watching over there on YouTube. We do have one more rant over there from Namster on Rumble. Namster says it's now called Roseola and is a short-lived virus. I'm probably scarlet fever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, I don't believe it killed more people than smallpox. I mean, who knows what the real numbers are, but they're saying like 500 million people died over 100 years from smallpox, and it's one of the greatest scourges.
I mean, the COVID numbers let us know that
that's like
the
entire world's population back then. So I don't buy any of those numbers, but that's the official narrative. So just for the record.
Yeah, it's probably good practice. If they tell you a number, it's probably just made up.
Yeah.
Also, if they tell you a historical fact or try to tell you what's happening outside, it doesn't matter.
None of it.
None
of it means anything. It's all completely fabricated.
Let me ask you guys one final question before we go. Someone in my chat today quoted, without attribution, a statistic that 85% of America took the COVID jab. I personally don't believe that. That sounds wildly outrageous. Now, I could see public health authorities claiming that 85% of America took the jab so that they could convince theoretically more people to take the jab. But by that rationale, if we just, we would have a lot more people, I think, in the chat that would have taken the jab. And I would know more people in my personal life, even though I don't have a large social circle outside of my crew here at Badlands. But I do not believe that is a real figure. And the person was like, do your research. And I was like, bitch, I don't believe you. I was like, you haven't given me any sort of citation here. And the source of that information is obviously going to be highly relevant, because if it's coming from the same people who told us that the COVID jab was 100% safe and effective in stopping transmission of the virus, well, then obviously I think it's total bullshit.
Everything associated with COVID was bullshit. It was
Right.
all to get people to do what they wanted them to do. And that's it. And that's numbers again. It's just simple. It's like, well, people want to be in the majority. You don't want to be that 15% that said no, you know. So it's just absolutely unbelievable, like everything else associated with it. And hopefully, you know, people will realize that at some point. I'm liking where things are headed. I think there's a lot more exposure happening. And I bring it up every day with my patients. I don't let them forget what they did during COVID, and just keep hammering on it.
Okay, I would say that 93% of statistics are made up on the spot. So
that's right.
ChatGPT says that 711 million doses of the COVID shot were injected in the United States, and it says 70% of America is fully vaccinated.
That's
so
insane.
I
That's retarded.
can't believe any of these numbers, but the idea that 85% of the people got one shot, if 70% got two, at least.
There's no way. And by the way,
population's low.
When they,
but they could have reported it.
Yeah, well, there was hundreds of millions of doses that were like destroyed because they were expired, and you know nobody took them. Like you know when they started wheeling out the booster shots, nobody was taking them, and they were ordered to destroy them. And I guarantee you, they're counting all those doses as having been administered and not actually just destroyed and thrown away.
Yeah, and it wouldn't account for, like, say that doctor down in Texas that was cataloging jabs he was giving people, but he was just injecting them with saline, you know, or people who got a fake vaccine card living in California or something like that.
What's that? There was
81%. 81% it says for the first shot.
Okay, so I think hopeful theorist in the chat said that the CDC reported it to be pretty high, but even still, whatever the number is, I don't buy it. I don't think that it's a realistic figure.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We do have a couple more rants real quick before we close out. Jacob 45 Allen says, I don't always listen live, but I have till 5 a.m. Central Time to catch up on all of y'all's shows. Jacob, enjoy your evening. Thank you very much for that. And finally, Beth, $100 rant. Beth, very kind.
Thank you.
She says, awesome. I love my Badlands family so much. You guys are so awesome. Stay strong and positive through all this drama. Love to you all. No homo. Thank you for the qualifier.
Love you.
She is a girl, allegedly.
Love you too. So
it would be no homo anyway.
It would be no homo, which is why she just wants to make sure everybody's aware. Yes, she is a female.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Beth, you're the best. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you, no matter where you are, no matter if you gave a rant or you're just hanging out chatting with the folks in the chat. Hope you guys had a good time. We had a good time. I want to thank Jonathan Drake for being here with us tonight. And of course, always Jay, Cam, and Chris. You guys are the best. You have any final words you want to give the audience?
Real quick. Bernie Bright asked Jonathan, he asked you if you showed the spinny Saudi thing you made.
No, we didn't get to that.
Okay.
Let's show it. Let's show it.
Oh,
I don't know how I could quickly get it.
Do you have a video of it?
Well, I do. It's on my phone.
So if you can share it to your computer real quickly.
Yes.
And then
Jonathan, I can do it.
Oh yeah, because I sent it to you a while back.
It just sounds awesome, according to BB. So I feel like I need to see it.
It is the coolest thing ever.
Oh, yes.
I have actually heard this story, so I've been anxious to see it for some time.
And I'll set the record straight. Ghost said I made it for a Saudi prince. Not true.
Okay, it's way more interesting that way, though, John. I don't think
let's
you
go
need
with
to.
that story.
It's still interesting because the guy that he's been my client for a long time, and he's a Canadian guy. He's a few years younger than me. Went to butler school so he could learn how to buttle, and then which I think is the proper term. So that he could work for like uber rich people. Learn. I mean, he came from a wealthy family, but learn like how uber rich people live, so he can learn how to make products and sell for them. And he was the personal assistant of the Crown Prince of the Arab Emirates.
Okay, that's notable still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
So this is they're tobacco pipes, and there's 12 of them, and they're historical figures of interest to him. Like this was a list he came up with, and then he wanted it on a Lazy Susan. Then I pitched him this idea, and he sprung for it.
Get the fuck out of here! You told me about this at Gart. That's so fucking cool.
Awesome.
That is cool.
Dude, people don't make stuff like this anymore. Like like things with crafts like this, and then just like the it's perfectly symmetrical too. It just looks beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make. It took me about 2 years because I couldn't figure out how to make the mechanism work for like the first year, so I just focused on carving and doing stuff like that. And then I finally just had like an epiphany one day, and I was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna do. And then just had to make it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to build.
So if I were to commission you to make like an automaton that could play chess, there's a famous story about that. Do you think that that's something that you could figure out, like just based upon historical?
Retellings? I enjoyed that side of projects like that. Figuring out like what how to make stuff like that work. Like I lay in bed and I can just visualize it, and I can and I do a lot of research and stuff too. But that stuff's fun.
That's awesome. Okay, well, strong work, Jonathan. Strong work.
Amazing, man.
Very
Amazing.
cool.
Appreciate it.
Very, very cool. All right. So that will be all. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Again, don't forget to hit the like on your way out the door. And I hope that everyone here has a wonderful evening. We're going to end with an oldie but a goodie, and I hope that you enjoy it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Later, y'all.
See you guys.
Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was permitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
nothing was marked classified.
There is evidence of
Nothing was marked classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my gosh.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains.
It was a mistake.
Have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were top secret.
Wasn't the best choice.
6 of those chains
I said
secret.
it was a mistake.
And 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
With respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains.
I made a mistake.
Have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were top
It was not a good choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?